For St Helens, 2 matches gone, still no win. Thrum Hall stages the outstanding match of the day. And here are the teams at full-back. Former Great Britain international Steve Hampson and a rising star, 20-year-old Steve Prescott. The wingers, 2 of the best in the game, John Bentley and Alan Hunt. And Mark Preston and Anthony Sullivan aren't bad either. In the centre, former All Black John Schuster. And we get our first glimpse in the big league of former Welsh Union star Scott Gibbs. 1992 British Lion Graham Hallis is up against the man Saints bought from relegated Lee, Simon Booth. Standoff Mark Bailey plays against his former club, and Phil Waring is the Great Britain Academy International. At scrum half, Australian Michael Hagan will have to be at his best to quell the spirit and enthusiasm of Bobby Goulding. Props, Carl Harrison, a Great Britain international, against the Cumbrian Jonathan Neal. And 2 men up against their former clubs too. John Fieldhouse, ex of St Helens, and Adam Fogarty, formerly with Halifax. The hooker for Halifax, Roy Southernwood. The Saints, no Dwyer or Hodgkinson, both injured, so teenager Keiron Cunningham steps in. Second row, former Witness and Welsh international Paul Moriarty, and the outstanding Chris Joynt. And another Welsh international, Mark Perrott, goes head-to-head against Sonny Nicol of Great Britain. Loose forwards, Gary Devorty, and 22-year-old Sean Casey, playing only his 9th game for Saints. The coaches, the Australian bound and now former Great Britain boss Malcolm Reilly, and Eric Hughes.
Just becoming over to elaborate Halifax and that play.
Goulding to Waring, to Nicol, goes through Bailey, Sonny Nicol, he has support with him from Gibbs, takes on Hampson, perhaps he should have released the pass. He got through Steve Hampson, but he couldn't get away from Paul Round. And St Helens so close to that Halifax line, Nicol limping away while the play continues with Joynt. Joynt turns the ball back to Goulding, that's a good try, but did he drop it? Now the referee says it's a good try. The ball spilled as Goulding touched it down, but referee Cummings was bang on the spot there. And a little wink from Bobby Goulding. Saints back in it.
Well, it all came about after that good, strong run from Sonny Nicol. A missed tackle from Mark Bailey allowed this man, Chris Joynt, to set up for the skipper for the day, Bobby Goulding. Good support play. Well taken try, but this is a run, and I'm afraid Bailey should have taken him. Big fella, Sonny Nicol, pushes Hampson out of the way, and from the resulting play of the ball, Chris Joynt, who has got plenty of talent, the Great Britain star, just threw the dummy there, and I'm afraid they held off enough for Bobby Goulding to take the 4 points.
Bailey brought down by his opposite number, Phil Waring. Hagan under pressure from Goulding, does well to get the kick in. Prescott allows it to bounce. Takes it and then goes through 3 and gets away from 4. Moriarty though, and Round clattering to the floor, and Moriarty felt the full weight of Round on his head then. Moriarty, and he shed a few pounds during the summer, Steve-O. Didn't play much rugby union last season. Joynt with the break. Sullivan is the man there, but the forward pass has been called. But did it take a little touch off the Halifax player?
Well, they definitely lost the plot there, trying to bring the ball back inside on 3 occasions. What it could have done with someone to settle things down.
Impressive Casey to Gibbs, and here's Alan Hunt. Hampson stood up to the challenge well. Alan Hunt and Graham Hallis, a little argy-bargy between the 2 of them. Cunningham to Neal. Diagonal run from Neal. He looked around then, wanting support, and there was nothing there. Goulding to Fogarty. Fogarty sees a little gap. It's closed down quickly by Bailey. Here's Cunningham again, now Goulding. Danger for Halifax when Goulding's in possession. Good a crossfield kick to Hunt. He just couldn't pick it up though.
Like Harrison and Moriarty, Perrott, they can all release the football.
Crossfield kick from Hagan. Underneath it was Sullivan, who gets away from Bentley, and there's a bit of space for Sullivan. He's through 2, he's got support from Prescott. Prescott, has he got a clean pair of heels against Bailey? Hampson coming across. It's a great run from Prescott, but a wonderful chase back by Bailey. Goulding, Saints want to get on with it quickly. Here's Joint's over. Just what St Helens needed, and well done Stevie Prescott. Superb run that puts St Helens on the attack. Halifax tracking back, blowing in defence, and Joint over for the try.
Well, they say a kick is only as good as your chasers, and there was no chasers there. No pressure on Sullivan, who got the break, and then Prescott chimed in on the inside from full back. Didn't he do well, the youngster Prescott? Nice step there. Goulding was screaming for the football. He held possession. And from this point on, Goulding quick play the ball. There is no defence there. They're not going to stop the Great Britain second rower, Chris Joint. And
yes, Goulding gets the possession from the scrum. Moriarty and Devorty quickly out. Perrott gets wearily to his feet. Phil Waring now. Long ball to Prescott. Prescott dumped to the ground by Schuster. Waring there again. Chris Joint. The try has given Saints such hope. Here's Fogarty. Fogarty for the line. And Fogarty against his former club. And that is his first try for St Helens. And what a time to score it.
Panic football from Halifax allowed St Helens the possession. Chris Joint, late in this second half, has started to run out wide. The ball back inside, and the former Halifax man goes in for a well-deserved try. Super play there from the second rower Joint, and Fogarty. Look at the strength, determination. Just shoved Hampson out of the way.
And Halifax will have plenty to say.
Well, we mentioned early in the game that St Helens, pretty tough game against Warrington midweek. Could they last the pace? It looks like they can.
Great break from Scott Gibbs, looking for support. Hampson snatched it in and missed him. He held up the pass though and gave it to Hunt. And Hunt's in. They won't stop him. Scott Gibbs created it. Alan Hunt scored it. And suddenly St Helens had come from nowhere with 2 tries in as many minutes.
Is that a Gibbs to give you the smile of all? Beautiful play. Look at the strength of the man. He's impressed. Push, push, push. The support was there. And once again, Halifax have been breached from well deep within the St Helens quarter. Strength personified. The former rugby union star knew he hadn't the pace. He's looking, but he has the strength to offload. Alan Hunt, grin, determination. Nothing is going to stop him. And St Helens are ripping Halifax apart.
Cunningham. We're entering the last minute of normal time. St Helens ahead by just the 4 points. Joint. Pickavance from the short pass. Hampson's there and Hampson manages to hold him out, but only just. Boo! Goulding. There's the young man. Waring. No try. Forward pass. Waring and Goulding can't believe it.
But they have ground their way back. They have shown a lot of character and spirit.
It's a ball out from Nicol to Gibbs. Here's Goulding. Goulding darting for the line. Goulding puts the icing on top of the Saints' cake. The captain comes up with his second try for the club and clinches the victory that looked for so long unlikely.
The little dummy, the step, they held back, went inside and outside of Moriarty, the pressure there, handoff, there was nothing Hampson could do. A super try from a super player. Deservedly, in my book, to be the man of the match. Look at the handoff, the step. Mr. Eric Hughes, the Saints coach, please, oh please, give him the skipper's job now.
14 personal points for Goulding, 30 for St Helens, 22 for Halifax, and the little fella clinches the fists, dances with delight. He has played a full part in this win, as has Scott Gibbs.